Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our Monday Live, where we are streaming on all platforms, including um, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And it's been a lot to talk about. We had a pretty crazy immigration week. I came back from the Immigration Lawyers Association conference in Denver. So I'll give you updates about what we learned at the conference. Many things changing with CBP, um, with ICE, with the USCIS. So I'll give you behind the scenes of what I learned at that conference. And, and we'll talk about the news of the day, which is the Trump administration announced that they are now going to be, the Supreme Court allowed the Trump administration to continue to deport people to third countries. So if you are, let's say, from Vietnam and you're convicted of a crime, a serious crime, Vietnam doesn't want you, you'll be able to be sent to Sudan under this new administration. Thanks, Maria. Yes, I am in San Diego. So let me know where you're from, guys. We've got Shippy here. We've got Israel. And we'll answer your questions as we do every Monday. As we do every Monday, we've got the best show on the internet with respect to immigration attorney who's answering your questions. We talk about everything. I'll give you behind the scenes of what we learned at our conference with immigration last week in Denver. And, bring your questions. Right now, like I said, there's a lot of things that are happening. I made a video today with some information that I learned at the conference about the increased removals, the increased detentions that people are going to be more detained at green card interviews. Why it's happening? Why is it going to happen? I'm going to talk about that more on this live stream. I'm going to share with you more of the information that I learned at the conference and some of the things that you need to be prepared before you go to an immigration interview so you don't get detained or your loved one will be detained. We'll talk about strategies and things we can do to, protect ourselves. And we've got Omid here. Shmuel, can you help me in my case, me and my wife? Absolutely. Well, if you need help with your case, guys, remember that. And I mention it every single time. There's a number on the screen that we will open with that number. Anybody who's watching live right now should be able to use this number because this is the only time you can use it during the live to be able to reach out. And if you're watching this on TikTok, you will see a form that TikTok is now pinned at the bottom of the screen. You can use that form to get in touch and also use the number in my bio. There's a phone number in my bio specifically for our TikTok viewers, and that number will allow you to book a call right now from the live. Even before I answer your question, you can book that from the live by using the number on the screen, and that is an opportunity for you to engage in a consultation with me or my team members. And this is all because you guys are on the live here. You're getting this opportunity. All right, let's get some of these questions answered. And let's see, we've got here Holly. I came here on a border case pending in immigration court. I married a U.S. citizen. Can focus on asylum, or I'm 30. Can I apply? You can do both. You can have an asylum and still go through the marriage case. And then if you go through the marriage case, you'll adjudicate the case through court. There's a way to do it through court. First, the I-130 must be approved, and then the attorney can request the case to be dismissed, and we'll continue with the marriage case. So there are different things you can do. Now, those of you that want to join on the live, on video, which hopefully you won't be shy, then I'll post a link right here. There's a link on YouTube and on Instagram and on Facebook, and you'll be able to join the live. And if you want to join the live on TikTok, you just have to line up, and I will be choosing a few of you guys to join the call in about a minute or so. let's see. There's a bunch of questions here on Instagram. Let me scroll through. We got Juan, we got Junior, we got Hope. Hope, Folsom, nice to see you. Everybody's here. We've got Illinois in the house, Wisconsin, San Diego. We've got a lot of people from San Diego. Anybody from San Diego, send me a DM and I will get you a special consultation treat because you're local. Is there an update for TPS from Haiti? I will do a video on that. I don't have a full update, but I will do a video. I applied for work authorization and green card at the same time. My spouse, it's a spouse-based green card, interview scheduled for my green card, but my work authorization was not updated. This is from KC Leak from Instagram. It is common for work permits not to be processed very fast right now because things are behind. So don't worry about it. Can you renew a DACA if you haven't renewed it since October 2015? It's not going to be possible, unfortunately. But hello from Illinois. Do you think it's safe to apply for a marriage green card without with everything happening right now at the moment? It's a great question from Mitt. Is it safe to apply for a green card right now with everything's happening right now? Can you apply for it? Absolutely. Right now, things are still considered to be fast, relatively fast, right? So, we're talking about, 6 to 11 months average to apply for a green card based on marriage. This is not going to be the case in a year from now. In a year from now, you're looking about 2 years wait time. So if you are ready to apply for a marriage case, they're still processing those cases. And you should file your marriage cases right now because they're still working. They're still processing cases. People are getting approved. Why wouldn't you file your case right now, right? Why wouldn't you do that? So anybody here who is about to get married and you want to file your green cards, now is the time to do it. I just finished recording a video about citizenship. I told the story of a consultation where a person had a DUI in 2018. Then he hasn't applied for citizenship. Then he had something else happen to him in 2022. And now recently he might be getting convicted of domestic violence and he might lose his green card. And I'm like, why didn't you apply for citizenship as soon as you were eligible for, right? Well, I didn't have the money or I forgot or I procrastinated. Well, if you're a green card holder and you're eligible to apply for citizenship, you need to apply for citizenship. Maybe I'll even do a campaign helping 1,000 citizens to get 1,000 green card holders getting their citizenship. People are not aware. They're just sleeping on their status. If you're eligible, you should apply. Right now, it's taking 6 to 10 months to get your citizenship. Why wouldn't you do it, right? Why wouldn't you do it? I have no idea. So we were going to launch this campaign, trying to help as many citizens, as green card holders to become citizens. And let's do it. Please accept my request. It's urgent. Okay, let's see what the urgent question is about. This is from, all right, let's see. 4 months in San Diego. Thanks, Blanca. Appreciate it. Many people from San Diego here, from California. If you're from California, drop a heart in the comments. And don't forget that we have the challenge, the heart challenge. It's right on the top here. You see the pink heart. Click on it. Let's get it done. What's your question, my friend? And what is your name?
Hi, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Mohammed.
Okay.
I have a question.
All right.
I just had a green card interview and it went well.
Okay.
So my question is, I have a wife and
Okay.
she has a felony. So they didn't ask
who is the immigrant? You or the wife? Did you hear my question?
I didn't hear.
No, the question, who is the immigrant? Who's getting the green card? You or your wife?
I am the immigrant.
But she is a citizen and she has a felony.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So how will that affect my green card? Even though
what kind of felony is that? What kind of felony is that? Is it don't give me too much detail, but like in general, is it like what kind of felony?
Identity fraud.
Identity fraud. Yeah. That's not going to impact your case. The only ones that impact your case, and just so you know, if you have a citizen who's sponsoring you for a green card, and if they have any sexual crimes against children, those are going to be a problem for you to immigrate. Any other crimes for U.S. citizens is not a problem.
Oh, okay. Thank you, sir.
All right. Good luck. So of course, like I said, U.S. citizens who have issues with convictions, then it depends on what the crime is, obviously. Let's see here. We've got Shmuel, another question. Waiting for green card interview after 3 weeks, but we need your advice about the interview. If you need my advice about the interview, which is, we do it in a private setting because you don't want to share your laundry in public. All you have to do, Shmuel, is use that number on the screen. If you're here on the live, it is designed for you on the live to be able to do that, right? Because you have access to an immigration attorney on the live. You can use the form that people are filling on the screen. Or on TikTok, you go to my bio. There's a phone number in my bio. Copy that number and send me a text right here from the live. I can see the text messages pop up on my screen, and we will contact you if you do it from the live. If you're going to do it outside of the live, it will take longer to get a hold of me. So text me right now, and let's book that consultation. We got a question from Jose, and then I'm going to take Tammy, Tayo, Fasiku on video on YouTube. I sent my 751 in December 2023. I applied for my N400 on December 2024. It's already 6 months since I applied for my citizenship. Do you think by filing the N400, I will speed up my 751? And the answer is yes, absolutely. If you are applying for your removal of conditions, and it's taken about 4 years now, and then a year later, when you're eligible to apply for your citizenship, this is going to speed up everything. It's like a loophole, guys. If you apply for your removal of conditions and you want it to go faster, apply for citizenship and see what happens. You're going to get your interview within 10 to 11 months, and they'll adjudicate both cases at the same time. Now, this is only true if you don't have problems in your green card. If you have issues with fraud, if you don't believe your green card is going to be approved right away, don't do this. Don't file together because you're going to mess up your citizenship and your green card at the same time. So make sure you speak with an immigration attorney before you make that decision to do the double filing. Okay? But it helps in many cases to speed up the process. If you want to have a quicker citizenship, it is the best way to do it. All right. We've got... oh, thanks a lot for the hearts, guys. Remember, we've got those hearts. We got to reach our challenge only on TikTok. Thanks a lot, Manu. All right, let's see. What do we have here on Instagram? Can you renew DACA if you haven't renewed it since 15? No. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you guys. Can someone apply for asylum if they've been in the U.S.? Yes, you can apply for asylum even if you've been in the U.S., but you have to show why you applied beyond the year. You got to prove the change in circumstances. I have a final asylum hearing on the immigration court. Is there a chance for them to dismiss my case and deport me? Juno is asking it. So, guys, the reason why he's asking that question is because people who are going to immigration court right now, and you saw the stories, right? You saw the stories. People going to court, they get the cases dismissed, and boom, ICE is waiting for them outside and getting them detained. So, to answer your question, if you're here for less than 2 years, okay, and you apply for asylum, and you have maybe a criminal record, or if you have a criminal record, one or the other, they will dismiss your case and you will be detained, right? So make sure you speak to an immigration attorney before you do that. Stephanie is asking, can you apply for a new DACA application? We answered that question already. I tried texting the number, but it says undelivered. Interesting. Send me a DM, Jaren. We will check on that as soon as possible. That's weird. Yeah, send me a DM in this case. But there might be an overload of text messages, but it shouldn't say. Okay. All right. Let's see, when do they withdraw the payment from my credit card after applying for removal of conditions application? That's a good question. When do they do that? They do that probably within 3 weeks. Let me see here. Okay. So if you don't get anything within 3 weeks, you need to worry. Okay. My fiance visa. This is from Hosa. With my fiance visa, my husband can get his citizenship in 3 years instead of 5. Correct. Fiance visa, essentially, when you get a fiance visa, it leads to a marriage case. All right. We've got Tammy who's been waiting for patiently. Now, apologize for that.
Okay.
How are you? We've spoken before,
How are
right?
you? Yes, we have many times.
Yeah.
Many
You're gonna give
times.
me an update, right?
Yes, I'm coming to give you an update. Yes,
Oh my
so
God.
my husband is here.
Really? I don't
Everything,
believe it.
yeah,
Where is he?
everything went well.
Hello,
Oh
sir.
wow. That's
How are,
amazing.
how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. You know what? The first time she talked to me, I didn't even believe she was married.
Yeah.
She just wanted to go, I thought she just wanted to go on the live.
Yeah, she told
Um,
me.
but
Yes.
She told me.
it's amazing. I'm very happy. So why don't you
Yeah.
tell us a little bit in a nutshell to make you what was your case? It was a K1 visa,
K3.
the K3 visa. So
Yes, the
tell us
K3.
what it was. When did you file, and which country did your husband come from?
So he came from Lagos, Nigeria.
Okay,
We filed back in August of 2022.
okay.
And yeah, it was the K3. So now he's here. Everything went well.
So when you filed for the K3, why did you file for the K3? Because you wanted to get his application a little bit faster, right?
Yes, we wanted to get his application faster. So that's why we did K3.
How long did it take to get it? More or less
About almost 3 years.
about 3 years.
Oh yeah, almost three
And
years.
so, just so you know, if you went with the regular way, if you just went with the regular CR1, it would have been the same, maybe even a bit faster. Just so you know, the
Oh, okay.
K3, the K3 doesn't mean anything anymore. It doesn't help as
Okay.
much. It's pretty much the same thing. In
Okay.
Nigeria, Lagos is a slow embassy anyway, so it's taking that long anyway. What were some of the main questions they asked you at the interview? I'm asking your husband. Like
Yeah.
all this time you went to the interview. What was the most unusual question you think they asked you?
Yeah, not really unusual question. They asked about the wedding. They asked about how many times has she been in Nigeria.
Okay.
And they asked about what does she do in America, where she stays, how many people does she stay with in America, and when she comes to Nigeria, what did we do, and the evidences of marriage, pictures, and because I provided them with every evidences, and they asked questions based on evidences I provided to them. So, and that's all.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah,
Well, like
that's
I
all.
said, 3 years is good for people to see because country like Nigeria, you apply for a marriage case, takes about 3 years. In most European countries, it's about 2 years. If you're going through, let's say from Pakistan, maybe even longer. So people realize that people have to be separated. That's how the system is messed up. People have to be separated for almost 3 years, guys. But you made it. You guys did it. You waited for each other, and amazing. So now, did you get your green card already? Did they ship it for you?
We don't. How do we track that? That's one of our questions. How do we track if they've shifted?
So what happened is that when you came at the airport, you had a package with you. Remember the package?
No, it was an electronic visa.
Oh, yours was electronic. Got it.
Yes, yeah.
So the officer, did they process something in the computer when you entered?
Yeah, they did.
Okay. So typically it should take about 60 days
Okay.
to get it.
But I've got my social already.
Yeah, you already got the social security.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So they should be coming any day now.
Okay.
Okay.
And is he able to apply for a driver's license and a job, or does he have to wait for the green card? We're in
I would wait for the
Texas.
card. I would wait for the card. It should be here any day now. And then you apply for a job and all the good things.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you.
I'm happy for you guys. Good
Thank
luck.
you, sir. Thank you, sir. God bless you.
I'll see you in 3 years for the citizenship.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
Very nice. We always like to see those beautiful stories of people that applied for the process, applied for the marriage. They had to wait all these years, 3 years, to finally be reunited. I'm sure that she had to go and visit him in Nigeria, and they were waiting. So this is how bad it is for the system. Because imagine, like most people who are living in the United States or any other country, like who would wait for their partner for 3 years, and literally not be able to see them? Like this is insane, right? This is what this administration, and not just this administration, our immigration system is putting us through, where we have to, have families being separated. People get stuck overseas because they said the wrong thing to the officer at the airport. Literally, I'm telling you, this happened like 2 weeks ago, where somebody got a visa, right, a work visa, an O1 visa. They were flying back to Los Angeles, and the officer asked them, "What are you going to do at your company?" And she said, "Well, I'm going to be the CTO. I'm the CTO." And the officer looked in the computer, and they found out that she applied as a system analyst for her visa. Said, "No, you're not a CTO. You're just a system analyst. You try, And well, yeah, that's kind of like my classification, but I'm actually doing the job of a CTO." And he just denied her entry because he thought she was lying to him, which is ridiculous. Because yeah, you can be a CTO and still could be a system analyst. You know what I mean? So our immigration system is crazy. Let's see here. We've got Amir Bilal on Instagram. Preventing wage determination for perm got issued. The Department of Labor issued a salary that's 40,000 more than my current salary. What are my options if the employer is unable to give me that raise? So remember, when you apply for a green card, they have to get a wage survey, and sometimes these wages are too high. And if they're too high, the employer doesn't want to continue with the case. There are many things you can do. You can request for a private survey to counter the wage. You can refile the prevailing wage and adjust the duties. There are many things you can do. The immigration lawyer that filed the case should know what to do if they know how to file perm properly. And if not, contact my office and we'll help you with that, because that's what I do mostly. Yes, you're supposed to send me a text to this number and book a consultation. That's what you should do. Let me check right now. Let me see here. Okay. Can a person whose U.S. visa has been revoked still be eligible for a green card through marriage-based application? Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's read this question again, because it applies to many people who are watching this. If your visa has been revoked, can you still apply for a green card based on marriage? Absolutely. Because your green card, your visa has been revoked for many reasons. Like maybe they don't believe you're going to be an immigrant. Maybe they think you're going to be an immigrant. There are many reasons why. But when you apply for a green card based on marriage, that's a higher standard, and they should be able to approve it. All right, we've got many questions here on TikTok. We've got the hearts moving. We met our challenge. We've got a question from Dex. I've got an H-1B approval, currently in the US working. Do I need still the visa stamp? Well, you don't need the visa stamp until or unless you need to travel, right? So the moment you want to leave the United States, that's when you need the visa stamp, okay? So you can stay in the United States, you can work here, but the moment you want to travel outside of the United States, that's when you need the visa stamp. Can DACA recipients, let's see here. Okay, see and respond here. Okay, it's the ban for green cards to come in the United States on June 24th real? No, there's no ban on green card holders, guys. There's a lot of myth saying that on June 24th, I've seen this online. People, so basically, people online saying that there's going to be some kind of a ban for green card holders on June 24th. This is not the case. There's no ban on June 24th. Green card holders can still come into the United States, and it's a myth, right? Green card holders are not. Okay. Okay. All right. We've got some delay here. All right. Let's see. We've got another person on here, TikTok, who wants to ask. We've got Daniel on TikTok who's asking a question. Go ahead. Please ask a question. Where are you from? And let me know. And then we have Sarah on YouTube. Okay. Daniel, what is your question?
Hi, Jacob. Good afternoon. You hear me?
Yeah.
Trying to schedule an appointment personally with you. Nothing on live. I'm just trying to fill out the form, but every time he doesn't let me to finish the fill out the form. I was trying to just schedule an appointment with you.
Which form? The TikTok form doesn't let you fill it?
Yeah. No.
You see this form? There's like a little form at the bottom. It doesn't let you?
No.
Interesting.
As soon as it opens up, once I try to put my informations there, he just
Okay.
finish up.
You know what? Send me a DM. You know what? Because right now we have some issues with the phone. You know what? Actually, no. The phone is working because people respond to me that it works. Okay. You know what? Yeah. Do this, Daniel. Go to my bio. There's a phone number in my bio. Okay. Write down the number and text me now.
Okay.
Okay. It's working. A person by the name of Juan, my assistant, will respond to you immediately.
He already responded to me.
Oh.
I'll get in touch.
Oh, great. Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks, Daniel. Talk to you soon. Like I said, sometimes the TikTok forms don't work, but it seems like the problem is resolved. We have big volume. Now, the reason why it's important to book the appointment while you do the live, because you get priority, like Daniel. Daniel already is talking to Juan, and he's going to get him booked. And whereas if you did it after the live, it will take longer. So take advantage of the live to book your consultations. All right, let's talk to Sarah. We've got Sarah here. Where are you from, Sarah? And what is your question?
Hi, Jacob. I'm from Pakistan.
Okay.
Currently, I have my interview next month towards end of July, inshallah. F4 visa category. My question is, two of my kids have aged out, but according to CESPA calculations, they are still underage. They are still under 21. So since I am outside US, as per whatever information I've gathered from the net, it says that it all depends on the visa officer. So to fulfill that purpose, I have already prepared a letter with both of my sons' age, with their birth certificate and this CESPA calculation and everything. I just wanted to ask: is this the right approach? Like, should I provide that visa officer at the point of interview that? Because I don't know how to proceed with it.
What I would do is, you come prepared. The CESC documents are inside the MVC, right? So it looks like the whole family is coming together, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. As long as that's there, that's a good sign. You go to the interview, you prepare the documents. When the officer is going to ask or question this, at that point, you will submit the package that has the explanation, that has all that information that says why they qualify, and let them make the decision. Don't just give it to him unless they ask for it.
Okay, unless they ask for it, I should not provide them that,
No,
right?
there's going to be a point where he's going to question the kids and their eligibility, and when he does that, that's when you're going to submit him the documents, because what he's going to do at this point, he needs some sort of validation why the kids qualify, and you'll have that in your paperwork, and you'll give it to him, and then he'll approve your children. Now, even if he doesn't approve them, It's not too late. There's always a way to contact LegalNet, which is the legal division of the State Department, and still try to fight. But hopefully it's not going to happen to you.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. Thank you so much, Jacob. Thank you.
Of course. Thanks, guys. We got a lot of people from all over the world watching different matters, business cases. We've got Julio is asking, what is the best way to apply for a self-petition green card? Because you always talk about it. And it's true. I always talk about self-petition green cards under the EB2 and EB1A because we do a lot of these green cards and we get a lot of success in those cases. Because if you have an advanced degree, if you're exceptional in your space, you can get a green card without a job offer, without an employer, without investing any money, just because of your skills. Like we've got engineers that apply because they are advanced in their career and they're working on some kind of a project in Tesla. Or we've got a young entrepreneur that used to be a DACA holder and now he's building innovation in the construction industry. And we got him an NIW green card holder. Or we did it for a teacher that developed a system to help autistic children who are not able to learn while she was teaching in public school, got a green card based on self-petition, right? So there are many, many disciplines. Or the baker that had no education, but had a very unique recipe for a gluten-free bread that was able to help thousands of millions of people with celiac to be able to eat bread once again. Those people are getting their green cards right now as we speak. And you are sleeping on your green card, right? So that's why we want to take action through the live, because you hear the inspiring stories and you want to be the next person to be able to get a green card, right? So fill the form at the bottom. Use the number in my bio to text me right now. Juan, Giselle are waiting for you guys to respond to the text. Don't disappoint them. We've got Lilith, who is waiting here, and then we'll take somebody from TikTok as well. Lilith, where are you from, and what's your question?
Yes, hi, can you hear me okay?
I can't.
Can you hear me at all?
Can you put your video on if you can?
Yes.
Hi Lilith, where are you from, and what is your question?
My question is, I'm a green card holder from Romania, and I've been here for almost 30 years. I have a DUI that I got a DUI in correction in 2022. So my question is, in Ghana, they don't want to naturalize right now, to be honest. I am a professional, I have a college degree, I am working like 7 years of college, but I don't know what to do.
Lilith, your connection is very bad. So can you get out and come back?
Yeah.
You're buffering and people are complaining. So come back. Yeah, perfect. I think what the question was, she's a green card holder for many years. She had a DUI 10 years ago or something like that. And now she's worried, should she apply for citizenship? Can she apply for citizenship? I think that's what she asked. But let's wait for her to come back. What's the phone number? The phone number is right here on the screen. It's right here on the screen for you guys on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and YouTube. And on TikTok, the number is in my bio. That's what the number is. Write it down. Send the message right now from the live. Then we'll get you sorted. We've got Instagram, a lot of interesting questions. Give information on EB1 revocations. Smiley says, give information about EB1A revocations. Let's talk about that. That's a very important topic. So what he's talking about is that about a few weeks ago, the immigration started to go after EB1A green cards, specifically for applicants from India. And those are people that applied for EB1A. They had very similar profiles. They all used the same publications. They all used the same citations. They were citing each other. Okay, it was almost like a fraud ring. It wasn't. I mean, I don't think they intended to commit fraud, but they were all kind of helping each other, and the government busted them. Same articles, same letters, same mistakes, same typos. We're talking about hundreds of Indian EB1A applicants that are applying, and now the government is going to revoke all their green cards. They're going to go back 5 years. So if you're applying for an EB-1A or EB-2 self-petition, you got to do this the correct way, right? If you need a publication, you go to the right source, you work with an attorney who knows what they're doing. You don't listen to the internet, to people who, I got my EB-1A and now I'm going to help you get an EB-1A. That's why they got into trouble, because they work with people that already got it, and they literally copy their old petitions, use similar letters, and all these Indian applicants, most of them are Indian. They're not just from India, but a lot of them are Indian. That's when the investigation started. And then we had applicants who are, some Europeans and all that kind of stuff, and they're all in this tangle. So if they have these publications that the government is not approving, and I'm not going to name those publications here because I don't want to create panic for people that apply for it. But if you're worried about your EB-1A, reach out to me and I'll tell you which publications are being investigated and what to do if you already have a green card, because we expect hundreds of people are going to be getting their green card revoked in the next 6 months if they apply for EB-1A that way. Okay, so that's what that's the story here. So hopefully that answers your question. And the same thing is going to happen with VAWA, guys. I'm telling you, the same thing is going to happen with VAWA. You've seen them on TikTok. You've seen them on Instagram. Those lawyers that are dancing with their approvals. You've seen those women, right? They're dancing with approvals, and usually it's a Mexican song in the background, and they're saying, "Fix without leaving the country," right? Fix without leaving the country. You know those lawyers. You've seen their videos. Those lawyers are creating a problem because now we have too many people applying for VAWA, and the government is aware of that, just like with the EB-1A. And they're saying, wait a minute, all these people were abused? So many people were abused in the last 4 or 5 years? How come? Well, the reason why is because some lawyers are massaging those cases. They're creating, did your husband look at you the wrong way? Boom, it's abuse. Did your child refuse to listen to you? Boom, it's abuse. Let's create a case. So many, many, many people were forced by these lawyers to file for their VAWAs when they didn't have VAWAs. And as a result, we have too many VAWAs. And if you receive the green card through a VAWA and you use one of these lawyers, and you know who I'm talking about, if you're watching this video and you got your VAWA with one of these lawyers, you got to be careful, because immigration will investigate your case. And if it was fraud, they will revoke your green card. Okay? So be mindful of that and do not file for these VAWAs if you don't actually have abuse. Do not listen to the attorneys who are telling you, let's create something, right? So if it's too good to be true, it is obviously not true. So they will be revoking EB-1A green cards for those people that created fake documents, use shady publications, and they're going to go after VAWAs next. Trust me. What's the best advice an immigrant? I'm traveling from New York to North Carolina. Well, if you are undocumented, use a valid passport. At least if your passport is valid, you should be okay. Now, you might be unlucky. You might fall into an airport where there's ICE. I just came back from Denver and ICE was patrolling the airport. But the other day I was in LAX, and there was no ICE. So you're taking your chances if you're traveling undocumented. Now, if you're traveling outside of the country, you have a visa, you have a green card, just be mindful of what are your rights. If you have a visa, tourist visa, student visa, you have no rights. Absolutely no rights at the border. If you're a green card holder, you have rights. They can't take your green card. You can refuse a phone search. You can refuse many things. If you're a citizen, there's nothing they can do to you. Emmanuel is asking a question on YouTube. I'm a male. I have a pending VAWA for 5 years with an RFE in 2022. We have a child. What else can I do? VAWAs are pending for 5 to 10 years right now. Some cases are pending a long time. You can continue to follow up on your case. You can make inquiries. You can request information and stay vigilant on your case. That's all you can do. VAWAs are taking a long time. Okay? It is just how it is. Is it true that citizenship can be revoked if you got it through VAWA? Now, it's not true. Okay? Your citizenship cannot be revoked if you got it through VAWA. Your citizenship can be revoked if you got your green card by fraud, and they can prove it, right? What I was talking about earlier, I said that there are many people that filed VAWAs in the last 5 years, and they didn't have abuse in their cases. They filed those cases because they were working with attorneys that told them that VAWA is the only way for them to get a green card. Now, these people are going to be paying the price because the government is going to go after VAWA cases. They're going to reopen many of these VAWA cases, and they're going to start canceling green cards. It is happening. Let's see here. I'm driving through North Carolina, but can ICE stop me on the road? And the answer is yes. ICE can stop you anywhere. Now, the question is, what are you going to do when they stop you, right? You can say, I don't want to talk. I refuse to speak. I'm not going to answer your questions. It depends on what your status is, right? Do they need a warrant? They don't need a warrant if they stop you in a public place. They don't. Do they need a warrant if they come search your house or they search your car? Yes. Are they acting with a warrant right now? No. We've seen the videos of them breaking windows with a hammer. I mean, you just got to be careful right now. You cannot enforce your rights. What you're going to do is be smart about avoiding certain places and not getting into contact with ICE, because once you do, your rights are out the door, essentially. Let's see. More people are waiting for a video call, and then we have, I'm gonna take you in the order I see you guys, and don't forget to give me the hearts, guys, because that's how more people. And oh yeah, again, if you're watching this for the first time, follow my account on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, and also on TikTok. Make sure you follow my account and share the live. You can share the live right now by going to the bottom of your screen and you share it so more people can come to the live, and the same thing you can do. Thanks, guys. Jamie, where are you from? And activate your video if you have a video.
It's dragging a little bit.
For some reason, it's echo. You have two devices open? Something's off here. I'm sorry about that. We'll take okay. Is the K1 visa banned for Sudan? It's not. Jackie?
Hi,
Where are you from? And what's your question?
I'm from Afghanistan.
Okay. What is your
I live
question?
in Chicago, though. My question is, my husband is in Pakistan. He had an interview in March 21st.
Okay.
He did the interview. They took his passport from him. They told him to wait. And now, like last week, they emailed them. They emailed him telling him, send your passport to us. But they have his passport.
Okay. Well, if they have his passport, just contact them. Let them know that the document is with them, and they'll take action. You just have to communicate with them.
Anytime they don't respond.
Okay. Did you email the immigrant visa section or which section?
I emailed to the Pakistan Islamabad embassy.
Okay.
They don't respond to my email. They have his passport. They emailed my husband to send you a passport, but they have his passport with 2 pictures.
I mean, I would just keep emailing them. I mean, that's the only way you can get a hold of them.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you so much.
All right. Thanks,
That's
Jackie.
the only question I have. Thank you
Of course.
very much.
Don't give up. It's the same for everybody, guys. It's hard to get a hold of these people. It's hard to get a hold of immigration. Do not give up. Your immigration journey is too important, so don't give up. I have a DUI. Will ICE come to get me? This is a question from Hale. No, they're not going to come to get you just because you have a DUI. However, if you will travel, so a DUI itself doesn't make you deportable, okay? But DUI will make you inadmissible. And that is the reason why if you have a DUI, you don't want to travel, because that will make you inadmissible, okay? The question from Menush. I want to avoid the TN interview. TN visa is for Canadians. Would I have better chance if I apply by paper within the US? Yes, you can. And the problem is that if you do that, it will limit your international travel because you're only going to be able to travel between the US and Canada, but you won't be able to go to Europe because you don't have a visa in your passport. If you're okay with that, then you're good. And if you need help with your TN, send me a message. Anybody who needs support, use the phone number in my bio. If you're watching this on TikTok, if you're watching this on YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook, the number is right here on the screen. Write it down, use it. You get a special rate for your consultations and also priority to book consultations with me. Jira, it says, my I-140, EB2, and IW got returned for the wrong fee. I sent 715. I'm applying under 245I. Should I submit all the documents together? Absolutely. And it's very important to calculate them properly because the forms have changed and you need a supplement, a special supplement in addition to the regular forms. And that is the reason why they send it back. So hopefully you're still in status, because if you're not, remember guys, if you're filing for your green card cases right now and you are out of status, then they can actually put you in deportation. Okay, so if your case is denied, they can put you in deportation. Forever 18, how to call you? The best way to call me is to use the number in my bio. And that's the way. Shosha is asking, is the K1 visa banned? No, it's not banned. Jamie's asking, if I apply for citizenship, what happened to removal of green card restrictions? I applied 2 years ago. So what's going to happen is that you apply for the removal conditions, and then 1 year after that, you apply for your citizenship, and then both applications are going to be processed quicker. Yeah, makes sense? So once again, guys, if you're watching this live, please follow me right now. Use the form at the bottom to communicate, to get in touch with me, and also the number in my bio on TikTok, specifically, guys, for you. Send me a text right now so we'll be able to engage with you and help you guys. So many of you are worried. I hope you're doing well. Can you tell us what were the main points from the AILA conference held last week that you can share? Oh, that's a good question. So let's talk about the immigration conference that I attended last week. It's the National Immigration Conference of immigration attorneys all over the country. Unfortunately, the immigration officials didn't attend, but there was a lot of good content that attorney shared. So one of the main things is that CBP, number one, CBP is going to enforce more restrictions on people coming into the United States. All the way from now through December of 2025, you're going to see more restrictions. So if you're a green card holder and you have any issues in your past, I don't think you should travel this season. That means any convictions, any stay longer, they're going to be questioning people, even if they don't have any problems. How long have you been outside of the country? What have you done outside the country? And when is your next trip abroad? So green card holders are going to be a focus of scrutiny. Number two, they talked about is increased enforcement at interviews and in courthouses. They're talking about increasing detentions of people at courthouses and also at immigration interviews. You're going to see more of that. Now, the reason why they're doing that is because they want to remove as many people as possible from the United States. That is the plan of this administration. And they're going to be doing this in many, many things. These raids that we've seen are going to be increasing. Those raids are going to be taking place a little bit different format. They're going to be sending more notices to employers to give them a chance to comply. That is definitely going to happen. However, sometimes it's hard to comply with these notices. So another thing that they're doing, they're using a lot of new technology. They're using face scanning technology to find and trace people that they're looking for. So for example, let's say you work at a restaurant and they're looking for somebody undocumented who works at that restaurant. And they're going to send notices to the employer, say, hey, we think 4 or 5 people are working undocumented in your restaurant, and this employer is not collaborating, is not submitting documents to the government, is not working with them. They're going to be using their tools to see who walks into the restaurant on a daily basis. Is the person they're looking for coming and going through that restaurant through this different technology, face recognition? And if they see them there, they will raid that location. This is what they've done in San Diego when they raided that restaurant a couple of weeks ago. They use this technology to verify that those people that they're looking for are actually coming back to work in the restaurant. Apparently, one of their workers was deported and they returned to the United States within a week, and they determined that he is back in the US through the face recognition software, and that he's coming back to that restaurant. And that's another reason why they raided him. Okay? So they're going to do more of that. There's going to be more sophisticated technology to trace immigrants. They're going to be doing more scanning of files to see who overstayed, when they overstayed. They're going to try to work with airlines to know when people came to the United States, who has not left. Okay? That's a big one. They're going to be working, I'm going to make a video on this. They're going to be working with the airlines to detect who has left and who hasn't left. And if they didn't leave, then maybe they're in visa violation, right? So there's going to be a lot, okay? A lot more enforcement. You're going to see potentially they want to do some new programs for immigrants to be able to help people to do this legally. Maybe special work visas for farmers and hospitality industry, but nothing before 2026. Okay, so new visa programs they're announcing will come in 2026, I believe, from what we heard, but not before that. Okay, this year it's all about enforcement, courts, immigration interviews, getting people's green card revoked based on information they found, and things like that. Okay, so guys, follow my account please for daily updates. Every single day we post 1 or 2 videos on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube Shorts. So do not miss any of the videos. Gisela says, I have a misdemeanor, DUI, and looking to get sponsored for an H-1B visa. Will that disqualify me? One DUI should not disqualify you for the H-1B. However, do not travel because that DUI could make you inadmissible. Remember, guys, just because you have a DUI doesn't mean that you're going to get deported, but it will make you inadmissible. So make a difference, right? The difference is that while you're inside the United States, you are safe. But the moment you set foot outside of the United States, they will detain you, right? So it's kind of like I had this guy who was like a small TV producer style, right? He was making these shows, and he was the only green card. He was from Australia, and he had a DUI, and it was good. He had a DUI. He was living in the United States. Then he had another reckless driving. Okay, living in the United States, no problem. Then he went on his honeymoon to Italy. On the way back, not only he was detained, they put him in jail. Okay, they detained him. They didn't let him go. They said, "Listen, you had the DUI, then you had the second thing. You're a felon right now." He was detained for 9 weeks. Okay, somebody imagine you coming back from your honeymoon with your U.S. citizen spouse, and then they take you to a room, and she doesn't know where you are for 4 days. Okay, and then he is in detention for 9 weeks. Okay, so this is what is going to happen, right? The enforcement, the crazy level of enforcement is what the takeaways that I came from this conference, that you're going to see more and more enforcement coming at you, whether you are being detained on the street without a warrant. They specifically said that they don't need warrants to detain you in a public place. However, if they have probable cause, they don't need a warrant. So what is probable cause, right? Do you look illegal? Or if they ask for your driving license and you're in the state of California, but you're driving a driving license from Washington State because it's easier to get it there, then does it mean that you're undocumented and they have probable cause? Do you see what I'm saying? They have a very broad, how should I say it? They have a very broad way and power right now. Okay, so the days where I tell people they stop you and you say, I refuse to speak, I'm not going to answer, those days are kind of over, right? Because if you're going to sit there and say, I'm not going to speak, they'll just take you, right? The 4 guys with masks are going to lift you and throw you in the white van, and they'll take you, right? So you have to be smart. You have to avoid certain places. You have to realize that if they do stop you, you try to minimize the damage by trying to be as polite, as smart, as educated as you can. You know what I mean? To get away from that situation. Don't give them that probable cause to stop you. That's where we are now. There's no more, oh, I have rights, right? Because nobody has rights anymore, right? Even naturalized citizens, right? This guy, naturalized 7 years ago. He's an attorney, right? An attorney, and his last name rhymes with Muhammad, right? And he doesn't look very white, and then he comes back and on a business trip, and they start questioning him. Well, when did you become naturalized? We would like to look at your phone. Can you unlock it? Now remember, it's intimidating, but always remember, if you're a citizen, a naturalized citizen, there's nothing they can do to you. Now, do you want to lose your flight? Do you want to get delayed? They can do that. They can make your life miserable, but they can't stop you from coming in. Okay? If you're a green card holder, they can detain you, yes, but they can't take away your green card, right? So remember, unless you give up your green card, you will lose it, right? So the example of the lady who came here, she was traveling, she came back from the Philippines, right? And so she's been away for about 11 months. And so she comes back and they start questioning her. Where did you go? Did you abandon your residency? Give us your green card, sign this form. Okay. And so she signed the form 407, I-407. She signed that form. And the moment she signed that form, she lost the green card, right? Now, if she didn't sign the form and she stayed there for 6 hours, 7 hours, 10 hours, after some point, they will let her go and say, okay, lady, you can go. Okay? But they can't take the green card from you guys. If you have a green card, remember, hold the green card. They can't take it away. Now, if you have a criminal issue, that's a different story. They still can't take away your green card. They can detain you. Okay? They can say, fine, you have a criminal record. We're going to take you back to detention. But you're still a green card holder. So if you hire a good attorney, the attorney can get you out. Now, we have a question here from a few questions, and we're going to get to all the other questions. But we have a lot of questions here from like Jose and Jeannie. What can we do? Okay, and that's an important thing. And everybody's watching here right now. Make sure you follow my account. And if you need a consultation, use the link in my bio, the phone number, text me right now. The question is this. We are now living in the United States. I'm undocumented. I overstayed my visa. I'm afraid that they're going to get me any day. Okay? Any day somebody can come and get you. What can you do? Okay? What can you do? What should you do? Is number one, you have to stop being afraid. So many people are getting anxiety, panic attack. They're scared. They want to leave the US. You have to start taking control of your situation. So the first thing you can do is get yourself what is called a pre-detention package. Okay? What is it? It's a package. It's a folder that in this folder you'll have your financial documents, your birth certificate, copy of your ID, power of attorney if you have children or assets in case you get detained, and ideally retain an attorney and get the attorney's G28 on file. What is a G28? It's a form that says, I have an attorney, so if you detain me, this is my attorney. I want to call my attorney. Now, if you have a G28, the chances of them taking you and shipping you to Louisiana or any of these states is going to be very minimized. They can still do it in many cases, but most likely they won't. And this way, your attorney can right away get you out of detention, getting you a bond. Many people get detained first, then they call somebody. It takes 3 days, a week, they're in detention. Then they find an attorney. Now, 2 weeks left. Now, next thing you know, by the time your attorney is hired, you're already detained for a month. So, in my office, people call me and say, what can I do? I'm undocumented. What can you do for me? I said, listen, I can't do much for you. However, I can help you get your pre-detention package ready, where you have all the documents there. We keep a copy in my office. You keep one at home, and you keep one with a friend. And then you call, if you get detained, you call your friend that you memorize their number, or if you memorize my number, you call our office. But as soon as you call us, we can jump right on board because you already retained us. We have a G28 file. We know who you are. We have your background, and we can right away negotiate with ICE and try to get you out. This is the best thing you can do for you if you're worried about getting detained, instead of being panicked and sleeping, with an Ambien at night. Get yourself the documents in a package. Speak to an attorney, get a G28 on file, and now you feel safer. So in case you get detained, somebody can start working for you right away. Okay, that's what you should do, I think, if you're worried about getting detained. If you're undocumented, So if you want to talk about this, I'm going to do a webinar specifically on this, what documents we need to have in this package, how to get the G28 from the lawyer so you have it on file, and that's it. If they detain you, then at least you're, okay, I have an attorney, this is a number, we want to, there's equities, right? This is the best thing you can do. It's like insurance. Okay, you're not going to need it, but if you have it, most likely you won't be detained. All right. Please tell me about the pedestrian accident. If there's a pedestrian accident, then it depends. Were you in charge? Were you at fault? CC is asking, do you do free consultations? No, we don't. And the reason why is because when you engage in a consultation, you have to, it's two people are taking a risk, right? As an attorney, I give you legal advice. I can't give legal advice unless you retain me. The cheapest way to retain an attorney is just pay for basic consultation, okay? Never, ever do a free consultation, because the attorney that you're talking to does free consultation. They're not invested in your case. You're just one of many. They have no responsibility. So remember that, okay? We don't do free consultations because we have to look at the documents, understand what the case is about, and give you legal advice. And the only way you can get legal advice is if you retain somebody, even for a consultation. For Iranians now, can we deport it, or can they get denied asylum? No, guys. Just because you're Iranian doesn't mean that you're the Iranian government, right? You're not the Iranian government. You're Iranian. You're protected. You're in the United States. You're fine. Nobody's going to retaliate against you. All right, let's take a few people on live. People are waiting to join the live. Jamie is back. Let me try to take you back. Hopefully, Jamie, your sound is better. Is the sound better?
Okay, that's better.
Oh my God, much better. Put your video on if you have video.
Oh.
If you have video.
Can you see me?
Let's see. I don't see you yet, but maybe in a second. But anyway, ask a question. What is your question?
Okay, so I've been following you for probably 6 years now, and you've helped us out a lot.
Oh, really?
My
Nice.
husband
Thank you.
is from Brazil,
Okay.
and we've been married for 6 years now. He's here. We've had the green card, and after COVID, we applied to remove the restrictions.
So they remove the conditions on the green card, right?
Right.
Okay. Then what
And
happened?
so we did that after COVID, and we've heard nothing back, and we just keep getting the stamp every year.
Okay.
So now,
So that's really that's a long time, because usually it takes about 3.5 years to get this thing, but you guys are waiting for 5 years. Is that true? The question is, when did you file the removal of conditions? That's the question.
when the card expired, which I believe is 3 years.
Okay, so you've only been waiting for 3 years now.
Right.
Okay, so that's not too bad, because they give you the extension for 4 years, and the reason why is because right now it's taking about 4 years to get it.
Okay.
Does it make sense?
So yes. So can we go ahead and just apply for the citizenship anyway?
Absolutely.
Pending that.
I would do it if I were you, and I'm more than happy to help you, because what's going to happen? The application for citizenship is going to trigger the adjudication of your 751.
Okay.
Okay, so because you're watching the live and you've been watching us for 6 years, then just use the number in my bio. Tell them that you're Jamie. You spoke to me on the live, and I'm going to give you a special rate for your citizenship, and they'll ask me, and I'll give them what it is. But it's just going to be for
Okay.
you, because anybody's been watching us for 6 years, deserve that. And you want
Thank
it.
you. So,
Mm.
so when we go forward with that, they will make a decision like, oh, we'll give you the citizenship.
Exactly.
Or,
They'll make a decision on both cases at the same time.
okay.
Okay.
Because I've been pressuring him. He's like, oh, well, we've already spent all the money. We sent him all that money for the green card, the new one, and we haven't gotten anything. So he's afraid it'll happen with the citizenship as well.
First of all, you have to tell him that sometimes you got to spend money to get results, right? So it's important to realize it's not about the money. It's about what is the action you're going to take. The action you're going to take is you're going to file the citizenship, and the citizenship is going to force them, because they can't sit on your citizenship for 4 years. You understand? They can't. That's the reason why they have to do this fast. And let me explain to you guys, for all of you that are watching this, what is the reason when you file for citizenship that the 751 gets processed faster? The reason is because for citizenship, they can't delay your case for more than a year. If they do, you can sue them. With the 751, they have 4-year window. So they're taking advantage of that. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why. For the citizenship, they have 1 year. If they don't do it in a year, we go after them right away, every single time.
Okay.
Okay? So send me a text and let's get your citizenship filed as soon as possible.
Okay. And also, as you were mentioning, to establish the lawyer ahead of time, so we would just get in contact with you with that as well.
But remember, what I was talking about is different. Okay, so you obviously you're gonna once you apply for your citizenship with me, you're gonna already have a lawyer, right? What I was talking about people that have no case. They're undocumented. They overstayed their visa. They came here. They're afraid. They're illegal. I'm talking about those people that are worried that they're going to pick them up every single day. Those people need to have what is called a pre-detention package. That's going to have all the things I mentioned before, including the attorney G28. You're going to have the G28 as soon as you hire me to do your citizenship.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much. We'll talk soon. I'm talking about all of you guys that are watching my lives every single week and you're undocumented. You work in a restaurant, you're driving Uber, you are feeding your families, because I get it, you have to work, right? You're out there every single day in the street at risk of being detained. Those are the people I'm talking to, right? You guys are at risk. What is going to happen to you when they detain you? What are you going to do, right? Well, here's what you're going to do. You're going to have all these documents in one place. 3 places: your house, a friend's house, and your lawyer's office. You're going to have a G28 on file, which means as soon as they get detained, you're going to call the same attorney that's on your record. And the attorney is going to jump right away and call ICE and say, hey, my client is right there. Is a G28 on file. I need you to get him out. He's eligible for a bond. Here's all the financial documents that you prepared in advance. I can send them to the ICE officer in 5 minutes instead of 2 weeks. Do you understand the importance of having these packages ready? Because anyone is at risk of detention right now. Anyone, right? Because if you're undocumented, they can catch you at any moment, right? So you got to be prepared. That's all. Otherwise, you're going to stay scared, right? Anyway, that's all I was talking about. Is it safe to do N400 with a reckless before green card? Well, Saldi, it depends, right? I mean, I'm not going to answer the question without looking at the conviction, with understanding when did you get it, what was behind the conviction. Anybody that has a criminal record, you can still apply for citizenship, but have the attorney review it. I made a video earlier about you got to apply for citizenship, right? Even if you had a DUI, but we got to check and see, what it was. But if it's a 1, I think you should be fine. And especially for those of you guys that had a DUI, okay? If you had a DUI and 10 years ago, okay, and you haven't applied for your citizenship, imagine you get a second one right now. Well, now you are at risk of being removed because now you're a felon, right? Is it a bad time to apply for fiancé visa? Nova is asking. You know what? I don't like fiancé visas, to be honest with you. Fiancé visas are good for the show, right? I watch it on TV. That's the only thing I do with fiancé visa, because fiancé visas are not helpful. They're expensive. They're taking almost as long as a green card based on marriage. And right now, if you're one of those countries that is banned, then you're not even going to be able to get it. So don't do a fiancé visa if I were you. Waste of time. All right, guys, I'm getting messages here that we are over 15 minutes. Our live stream on YouTube, guys. On YouTube, we are going to be ending the live stream in a few minutes. Typically, I like to keep it an hour. We're still here on TikTok for another. We're good here. We're not leaving on TikTok. If you're watching this on YouTube, you want to keep the live. We're on TikTok, but on YouTube and on Instagram and on Facebook, we're going to be ending the live very soon. Let me take a few more questions on Instagram here. Let's see. We've got, let's see here. Speeding violations affect on traveling through the green card? No. However, let me tell you a story about a speeding violation. Speeding violation that led to a warrant. Okay, so this guy who is a green card holder, he has a, he likes to drive his Maserati very fast. So he has multiple speeding tickets and he's fine. But he has 2 warrants now for his arrest because he hasn't paid those tickets, some of those tickets. Now that's the problem. He travels out of the country. He comes back at LAX. They send him to a secondary inspection, and now he's being detained. He's being detained because he has 2 warrants for his arrest because of those speeding tickets, and that's where the problem is. All right, guys, with that, we are ending our live on YouTube. Only on YouTube, guys. I'll be back here next Monday at 5 p.m. every single Monday. And we might do a spontaneous live during the week, but every Monday we're here on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. So, guys, if I didn't get to you, or if I didn't get you on video, we'll get you next week. Stay safe, share my videos, and before we go anywhere, the number on the screen right here is for you, Jose, for you, Jeannie, who is asking how to get a hold of me. The number is on the screen. Use the number right now. Send me a text. And if you're watching this on TikTok, the number is on my bio. Use it right now because the best people are getting consultations on the live and special rates as well because you're getting the best rates because you watch me on the live. Thanks again, guys. I'll see you next week. We had good content today. We talked about removals, updates from Ayla. We had amazing story of a couple that waited to be reunited for 3 years. And every once in a while, they came on the live. She gave me an update. And today, her husband was on the live from Nigeria after 3 years, guys. This is real love. Real love right here on the live where we see that these are real couples who are waiting for each other for 3 years without seeing each other. I think she saw him maybe once or twice in those 3 years because it's very difficult to get in Nigeria. And he wasn't able to get out. These are the stories of people that are separated from each other for 3 years versus, these couples here who are getting divorced in the United States just because he didn't do the dishes or because he liked somebody's photo on Instagram. They're getting divorced. And now we have these people who are resilient, who are showing us what is true love, where they're loyal to each other, they're staying determined, for all these years until they come to the United States and they'll be reunited. So let's learn from these couples and stay inspired. Thank you guys on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. We'll see you next week. I love you all. But on TikTok,